Hello, welcome to I Do Man Things. Today we're going to be doing rear shocks on a 2010 Chrysler Town and Country. Kind of get rid of the bounce in the back, and then in a future video we will be doing the front strut assembly, showing everybody how that looks. I know there's several videos out on YouTube, but I can assure you I'm not a mechanic and we're going to stumble through this. So we're going to get the vehicle ready and we'll go from there. These are the shocks we'll be using, the KYB gas shock absorbers, and you can find them on Amazon or at AutoZone, and I'll post a link below so that you can see where to get those and find them cheap. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to jack up the vehicle, and we see the shocks are on the other side over there, so really got to come in on the side here, and then under here, right there, they go up there. That's not going to be easy to get to, but we're going to give it a try, and we'll see what happens. But first we're going to spray these with some WD-40, because that's what I have around the house, and I don't have any, Panther Pea or whatever you want to call it, and lock stuff, but we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to jack it up, spray it, see what happens. Alright, so I'm a little bit of a safety net. Got it jacked up, got a couple jack stands here, jack stand there, got a couple pieces of wood in front of the tire just in case. Right there's the shock, so I'm going to go ahead and spray that and try and get that loosened up. Okay, I used a 19mm to pull that bolt out, and then that bolt, I am using an impact wrench. Here's my old shock absorber, pretty rusted, kind of nasty, but I mean, did the job. Stuff around the top there is just where I sprayed it to get it out. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean these bolts up, get some of that rust off of them, make it a little bit easier to go back together, and then we're going to put it back in. And just to give everybody how I'm going to do this, I'm going to take these, I'm going to spray them, I'm going to use this nice little wire brush, I'm just going to clean those up, and then we'll put things back together. Okay, we got the bolts a little cleaned up, made sure the ends of them are fairly clean here, and we're going to go ahead and put this thing back together. One thing to note, I think these springs, if you push down on them, they'll compress. So I'm going to compress it, put it in, and then try and get them bolts back in before that thing expands. So we'll see how that works. We'll be right back with it. Okay, so I put the top bolt back in up here, kind of letting the shock hang. So I'm going to compress the shock, and you can see I can do it with my hand. My hand shakes, so I'll compress that shock, and then I'll put that bolt back in, and we'll see how that goes. Actually a lot easier than I thought it would go in. It really took me about 10-15 seconds to put that in. So now all we have left to do is put the bolts back on, tighten her down with the impact, and let the vehicle down. We'll see how it works. One thing I want to show everybody is it's not really easy to get that wrench back in there, because you can kind of feel back in there and get that wrench around that bolt. I don't know if it's imperative that you see it, as long as you can get that wrench around that bolt so that when you tighten it with the impact, it gets tight. So I mean, you can look down up underneath, or you can do what I'm doing here. I'm just feeling back in there. Alright, so I found a smaller 18mm, not 19mm, for back up here. I think I said 19mm a while ago. And put my 18mm small one back up there and just kind of let it tighten down on itself. It seems to be tight. And we're going to do the same thing down here and see what happens. So we got the top one in. We got the bottom one in, and they're tightened down as much as that impact's going to tighten them. And we're going to put the wheel back on and drop her down, and we'll do the other side.